لله الحمد لله وحده والصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعده أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ومن أحسن دينا ممن أسلم وجهه لله وهو محسن واتبع ملة إبراهيم حنيفا واتخذ الله إبراهيم خليلا وقال تعالى إن أولى الناس بإبراهيم للذين اتبعوه وهذا النبي والذين آمنوا والله ولي المؤمنين صدق الله العظيم وقد روي عن ابن عباس رضي الله تعالى عنهما عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال إنكم محشورون حفاة عراة غرلا ثم قرأ كما بدأنا أول خلق نعيده وعدا علينا إنا كنا فاعلين وأول من يكسى يوم القيامة إبراهيم وإن أناسا من أصحابي يؤخذ بهم ذات الشمال فأقول أصحابي أصحابي فيقال إنهم لم يزالوا مرتدين على أعقابهم منذ فارقتهم فأقول كما قال العبد الصالح وكنت عليهم شهيدا ما دمت فيهم فلما توفيتني كنت أنت الرقيب عليهم وأنت على كل شيء شهيد أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام बुजुर्गों प्यारे भाइयों अल्लाह रब्बुल इज़्ज़त का बहुत बड़ा एहसान है कि उसने हमें दीन इस्लाम की नेमत से नवाजा है। The thanks of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has given a tawfiq to be a Muslim. We should thank every day and pray for this ni'mat and this blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We were listening from few years, there will be one nation in the world. One nation. Now we hear and listen about one religion. Some people ask to ulama, if we make a one religion, Islam and Jewish and Christian, one religion, what happened? In one volume, 3 books, Quran, Torah and Injil, and one place for worship, one mosque, Bait Ibrahim. Why the people hope from us? And what will the result come behind one religion? Al-kufru millatun wahida. Al-kufru millatun wahida. In this world, only one religion will left. It is Islam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala declare in his holy Quran, Inna ad-deena indallahi al-Islam. The acceptable and true religion, it is only Islam. In the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, indallah. وَمَنْ يَبْتَغِ غَيْرَ الْإِسْلَامِ دِينًا فَلَنْ يُقْبَلَ مِنْهُ. जो आदमी इस्लाम के अलावा किसी और मजहब को तलाश करेगा, हरगिज हरगिज कबूल नहीं किया जाएगा. Anyone who try to find out any religion except Islam, it will never accept it. हाँ, इस्लाम के सिवा और कोई मजहब नहीं. But there is a question, why the people hope from this nation and this ummah to be on one platform and one religion? Why? They have seen in our life, in our culture, in our habits. You should remember one story. There was a Baitul Tabuk, the fight of Tabuk. It is the last fight of Islam. Some Sahaba and companions did not participate in that fight, especially 3 Sahaba. Murara bin Rabi radiyallahu anhu, Ka'b bin Malik radiyallahu anhu, and Hilal ibn Umayyah radiyallahu anhu. The short form is Makkah. Mean Murara bin Rabi, Ka'b bin Malik, and Hilal ibn Umayyah. They were separated from their family. Some king of non-believers wrote a letter to that guy, this Sahabi, that we heard about you. You are alone in your locality. Nobody talk with you. Even your family and your wives also. If you will come to us, we will accept you. And we will give you so and so facility. What he replied? He rejected. But he was thinking, why they hope from me like this suggestion here. How can I accept this advice? My dear brothers, listen carefully. Other nation, other religion people, look in our life. We accepted their culture in eating, in drinking, in wearing the clothes, in talking. जब दूसरी कौमों ने हमारे अंदर वो बातें देखी जो उनके कल्चर की थी, हमने सीने से लगाया. हाँ, उनके सोच हमारी सोच हो गई, उनके इरादे हमारे इरादे हो गए. तो अब उन लोगों को यह भी हुआ कि अब इनको एक मजहब पे लाना चाहिए. जब कल्चर हमारा एक्सेप्ट कर लिया, जब हमारा तौर तरीक उन्होंने अपना लिया, so they invited to be on one religion. But it is impossible. It is impossible. Why? Because our religion is especially on oneness and seal of prophethood. They will never accept. So my dear brothers, they think we are very close to Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. Yahudi and Jewish people think Ibrahim alayhi salam, he was Jewish. Christian think Ibrahim alayhi salam was Christian. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala declared, emphasized in his Quran, ما كان إبراهيم يهوديا ولا نصرانيا ولكن كان حنيفا مسلما. وَمَا كَانَ مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ. Ibrahim alayhi salam was not a Yahudi. And he was not a Christian. But he was Hanifa Muslima, upright, straight, upright. Muslima, obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Tabedar, farmabardar. Even in one ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Ya ahlal kitabi lima tuhajjuna fi Ibrahim وَمَا أُنزِلَتِ التَّوْرَاةُ وَالْإِنْجِيلُ إِلَّا مِنْ بَعْدِ أَفَلَا تَعْقِلُونَ. अहले किताब क्यों झगड़ते हो इब्राहिम अलैहिस्सलाम के बारे में, हालांकि तौरात भी नाजिल की गई उनके बाद, इंजील भी नाजिल की गई उनके बाद. अफला ताक़िलून, अभी तुम समझते नहीं हो. मतलब ये है, Jewish people and Christian people think Ibrahim alayhi salam was Jewish and he was Christian. But my dear brother, we are very closest to Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala declared in the Quran, revealed the ayat, Inna awlan nasi bi Ibrahim lalladhina ittaba'uhu wa hadha an-nabi walladhina amanu Wallahu waliyul mu'minin. The people who are closest to Ibrahim are those who truly follow him, his way. And this prophet, our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and true believers, Wallahu waliyul mu'minin. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala close to believers. In this ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opened the matter. We had very, very strong relation with Hazrat Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. Because Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was ordered by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, فَاتَّبِعْ مِلَّةَ إِبْرَاهِيمَ حَنِيفًا وَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ دِينًا مِمَّنْ أَسْلَمَ وَجْهَهُ لِلَّهِ وَهُوَ مُحْسِنٌ وَاتَّبَعَ مِلَّةَ إِبْرَاهِيمَ حَنِيفًا وَاتَّخَذَ اللَّهُ إِبْرَاهِيمَ خَلِيلًا. Who could be better in religion than those who direct themselves wholly to Lord, do good and follow the religion of Ibrahim alayhi salam, who was true in faith. وَاتَّخَذَ اللَّهُ إِبْرَاهِيمَ خَلِيلًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took Ibrahim as a friend. Ibrahim alayhi salam ko Allah ta'ala ne apna khalil kara diya. In one hadith, it is reported, it is written in Umdatul Qari Sharh Bukhari, Abdullah bin Mas'ud radiyallahu ta'ala said, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, ittakhadani Allahu khalila. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made me his friend, like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made Ibrahim alayhi salam his friend. Why? Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam his friend? Allah ta'ala ने Ibrahim alayhi salam को अपना friend क्यों बनाया? आखिर क्या वजह थी? उनका कौन सा कारनामा था? Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam his friend? Why? There are a lot of stories. One story is reported by Ibn Jarir Tabri rahimahullah in his tafsir, and it is written in Umdatul Qari book of Allama Aini. He said, in the time of Ibrahim alayhi salam, there was no rain, there was no food and no rain. The people were in the trouble. So Ibrahim alayhi salam traveled from his place to Musil, in one riwayat to Egypt. He traveled. His friend was in Musil or in Egypt. But what happened? He went to bring the food, but he was not successful because his friend was poor. He has nothing. So Ibrahim alayhi salam returned without anything with his bags. And he passed on desert. There was a sand, balu. He thought, if I will go at my home empty bags, they will feel bad. उनको बुरा लगेगा कि खाली हाथ आए कुछ लाए भी नहीं. So he filled the sand in his bag. When he reached at home, he was tired. He put his bag at one side and he slept. But when he wake up, he saw his wife was cooking the chapatis. He asked, how did you get this flour? She replied, from this bag I found the flavor. It was from your friend. Ibrahim Islam said, yes, my friend Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he has given this flavor. Because of this story, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala named him Khalilullah. And some scholars say, Ibrahim alayhi salam used to do not eat any food without any guest. Always he go out and find the guest. Without guest, he was not eating. So, one day, he did not find any guest. He came back at his home and he found one guy, he was in his house. He asked him, how did you enter in this house without permission? He replied, I asked and I entered with permission. Who allowed you? He said, the Rabb of this house, meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said, دَخَلْتُهَا بِإِذْنِ رَبِّهَا. I entered with permission of Lord of this house. قَالَ وَمَنْ أَنْتَ. He asked, who are you? He said, Malakul Maut. I'm an angel of death. मैं तो मौत का फरिश्ता हूं. अरसलनी रब्बी इला अब्दिन लहू मिन इबादिही. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent me one servant of his servants to give a good news. Ubashiruhu bi anna Allah qad ittakhazahu khalila. I give him good news that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had made him the friend. He give a qasam, he take oath and say, if you may inform me, I will be with that guy when he will be. And I will be his neighbor always. You should inform who is he. He said, Anta. Al-abdu anta. That servant is you are. वो जो बंदा है वो तुम हो कि अल्लाह ताला ने तुम्हें अपना खलील बनाया है. قال فبما. Ibrahim alayhi salam asked, why? Because of which action and which deed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made me his friend? He said, إِنَّكَ تُعْطِي النَّاسِ وَلَا تَسْأَلْ. Because you give the people and you do not ask. आप लोगों को देते हैं लेकिन लोगों से मांगते नहीं. कहा अल्लाह ताला को ये चीज बहुत पसंद है. आदमी देने वाला बने, लेने वाला नहीं. कहा कि तुम आपकी आदत देने की है, लेने की नहीं, मांगने की आदत नहीं. कहा अल्लाह ताला को ये तुम्हारी अदा बहुत पसंद है. And some ulama said, إنما سمي خليلا لشدة محبة ربه عز وجل. He has lot of loves for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How? We can understand because لما قام له من الطاعة التي يحبها أو يرضاها. Ibrahim alayhi salam, he was very fast to follow the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In hadith, Bukhari Sharif, Imam Bukhari rahmatullahi alayhi reported this hadith by Hazrat Abu Hurairah radiyallahu ta'ala. He said, Qala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, Ikhtatana Ibrahim alayhi salam wa huwa ibnu 80 sanatan bil qadu. खतना करना क्या कहते हैं? Circumcision. Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam, he was 80 years old, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered him to circumcise, do khatna. He did not wait. He took a qadum, for example, it is the knife, and he cut. He obeyed the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In some books I read, he felt the pain. He felt the pain. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, why did you hurry? Itna jaldi kya tha ki aapne isko itni jaldi ki? He said, Allah, you order and I wait. Tu mujhe hukam deve aur main intizar karu, ye nahi ho sakta. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made him his friend because he's lot of sacrifice. You can find in the books. In one hadith, it is reported by Imam Bukhari rahmatullahi alayhi. An Ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhuma qala qala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, innakum mahshuruna hufatan ghuratan ghurla. You will be collected and gathered on the day of judgment. Hufatan, without shoes, khule pav honge. Uratan, without clothes, badan pe kapre bhi nahi honge, pav mein jhoote nahi honge. And ghurla means without circumcised, khatna kiye baghair khatna ke, aise hi honge. Qayamat ka manzar, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam emphasized in this hadith the ahwal on the day of judgment. What happened on that day? The people have no shoes, no clothes, and without circumcised, and without khatna. Why without khatna? Because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam need and wants to say, no, any part of body will never live. तुम्हारे बदन का कोई हिस्सा नहीं बचेगा जिसको अल्लाह तुम्हारे साथ नहीं लाएगा. खतना का जो छोटा सा टुकड़ा होता है चमड़ी का वो भी उसकी जगह पे लगा हुआ होगा. सोचिए, अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व तआला will collect all people at one place. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Allah Ta'ala said, Kama badana awwala khalqin nu'idu. And on one day, first day, when you come in this world, how you were, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, we will do again with you. Kama badana awwala khalqin nu'idu. Wa'dan alayna, is the promise upon us. Inna kunna fa'in, indeed we will do. हम ये करके रहेंगे. وَأَوَّلُ مَنْ يُكْسَى يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ Ibrahim, and first man who will be wear the clothes, he was Ibrahim alayhi salam. Second, some ulama said Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Some ulama said no, together Ibrahim alayhi salam and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam together they will wear their clothes. Then the question why Ibrahim alayhi salam was will be given first in his clothes. Why he will wear his clothes first? Because when he was thrown in the fire of Namrud, he had no clothes. Because the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he surrendered his body for Allah subhanahu without clothes. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give him first chance to wear the clothes. अल्लाह ताला उनको पहले कपड़ा पहनाएंगे। लेकिन अब सवाल ये होता है कि हुजूर सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम का मकाम, उलमा फरमाते कानून साज कानून से बड़ी होता है। जो कायदा बताने वाला होता है वो कायदे में नहीं आता। हुजूर सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने ये खबर दी है तो इस हदीस में हुजूर के बारे में नहीं। और एक जवाब ये है कि अल्लाह के रसूल सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम को साथ में उनको भी कपड़ा दिया जाए। और बाज़ उलमा फरमाते कि एक चीज की फजीलत से आदमी पूरी फजीलत नहीं पा लेता। खैर, इब्राहिम अलैहिस्सलाम का बड़ा ऊंचा मकाम है। हाँ, इट इज द रीजन द Jewish people say Ibrahim अलैहिस्सलाम is our prophet. Christians say is our prophet. He was Christian. Jewish say he was Jewish. No, Quran said no. Ma kana Ibrahim Yahudiya wala Nasraniya walakin kana Hanifan Muslima. Ibrahim alayhi he was not a Jewish, he was not a Christian, but he was upright and obedient of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. वमा कान मिनल मुशरिकीन, अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व तआला ने ये भी फरमाया कि वो शिर्क करने वाले आइडोलेटर नहीं थे। वो व्हाई he did not commit any shirk. Ibrahim alayhi salam was a upright and real Muslim. It is the reason Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, wattabi millata Ibrahim, you follow the way of Ibrahim alayhi salam. So my dear brothers, in this time some people hopes from us to be in one religion. One religion. We were listening one nation. Now we are listening one religion. Yahudiyat, Nasraniyat or Islam. का एक कर दो सबको. Collect in one volume Quran, Tawrat and Injil. It is impossible. But my dear brothers, why the people hopes from us? Why? Because they knew these people accepted our culture. These people accepted our thinking and our thought. These people accepted our way of eating, wearing, everything. This is the reason. The people hope from us to be in one religion. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to understand the value of Islam. Wa ma tawfiqi illa billah.